So the first thing we want to do is try and release or have a feel of what's going on in the fascia over the back, because all this fascia here should be nice and loose, right? So in a normal dog, you should be able to pull a bit of skin like this, depending on breed, more or less. So these dogs here are probably a bit tighter than you have in dogs like a pug, for example, because they have lots of skin. You laugh, but that's the kind of stuff you deal with. Or big dogs like Great Danes or Mastiffs, they have bigger skin. So a really nice release for them is if you just grab your fingers like this, grab it here, and then just walk your fingers like this, so my thumbs are just sliding up, and just release the fascia along the back like this. Most dogs are really happy with this kind of release. If you hit a tight spot, his fascia is pretty good, it's pretty loose here all over. And he just shifted a leg because I was sitting on it. So that is a really nice way to start something and have a look, is there any tight spots along the spine. You can go all the way to the back of the head, but I've got it along the way up. So, you know, take it like this and just walk your fingers up like that. Easy, right?
Yeah.
The other release, hands like this, nice and wide. You put them on the rib cage, either side, and you rotate, so you put a little bit of pressure on it. You can do it standing up or laying down. A little bit of pressure, and then you rotate them towards each other like this, and see if there's restrictions, or away from each other like this. And he has got a bit more restriction this way than he has this way. I can just feel the skin's a little bit tight this way here. So if I hit a restriction like we just did with your hands, if you feel like there's a little bit of a tight spot, just wait. Just hold it there. That's already a fascial release in treatment. Doesn't look like much, it's highly effective to increase the blood flow and breathing through the rib cage. The same for you, Brenda, here. Do you do this? Like that? Or like this? And again, I do run into restrictions a little bit here on both sides. Just bringing it up here, I can just feel it. It's a little bit tight on this side and this side. So that for you, it just gives you the information, easy to release. And if you hang on to that restriction, just hang there for a bit. It'll just go away. And the reason you have things like that is because you cover more area and you can just affect the fascia in a more effective way. It's a really good way of doing things. Okay. More tightness. You'll feel that you put your hands on them and go, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's really tight. What happened there? So you'll straight away, and this is what's called a fascial bias. So one side is tight and the other side is loose. So that's a bias. So he's actually holding one side really tightly and the other side not. It can be caused by an injury. If you have that in your dogs, pay attention. So this is for a good stretch. So this is for me a really easy check of what's going on with your fascia. The next one we'll see. Can you show me your belly? Right here? I'm going to do whatever I can. Can you show me your belly? He's like, what? Okay. Can you show me your belly?
Oh, okay.
Oh, show me your belly. Yeah, have some lunch. Show me your belly. Lay down. There you go. Good boy. This release is best if you actually the whole thing. You have the belly to it. He's like, no, show me your belly. It's like, no. It's not the best of it. Like this.
So what the
There you
hell?
go. If you sit behind the dog like so, have this hand like this. Sorry. Okay, good. You start at the last rib. Can you see Brenda? Your thumb just below the spine, your hand just behind here, start behind your last rib, and then you imagine you've got water there, and you very gently, and this is about the speed you're doing it at. It's about as interesting as watching grass grow. Very gently start pushing your water. You're not allowed to lose your water, so you need even pressure all along here. Little bit of pressure. If you want after, I'll show you how much pressure. Even pressure all the way along here, and you just push that water all the way down the leg.
And it's harder than it looks to not have gaps.
Yeah. So the most important thing is don't you lose your water. Okay? And then you just go all the way down here, and then I'll just do it a bit faster, and you just sort of go down the leg like this. Okay? So that's a really nice pressure release if your dogs tend to get tight through this back area here, which a lot of sporting dogs do. Okay?
And you do both sides.
You do both sides, yes. And we can do, these releases are really safe. If you push too hard, your dog will tell you you're pushing too hard. So back off a little bit, but you can't lose your water. So, look. Wait. So I'm going to get you to get your dogs out. Touch, yeah? So, so if we do this, oh, it can touch. Super.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do that. So we can compare. That's a bit big, isn't it? We can compare those things. One side to the other. Good boy. Yeah, good job. So then, what about the range of motion of my elbow? How far should the elbow go?
Should be able to come like up
So if
to
we
the
bend
side.
it, so we can extend it.
No,
Elbow
that's
extension.
nice.
Good boy. So elbow extension, we should be able to have it straight, right? Like this. Yeah?
Yeah.
All the way straight. Sorry, it's a bit hard. You're all good. Yeah, like this. So we should be able to have it straight, like that. How far should we be able to flex it?
90 degrees.
90 degrees would be about here. You think it
Bit
should
more.
go further?
Yeah.
How about like this?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's how far an elbow should go. What
Tuck
about
in.
his shoulder?
Out in front. Or the shoulder.
So he says, I'm a bit scared about this, I don't know about you.
What is going
So we
on?
go all the way up the front. So this is how much extension a normal dog should have. What about flexion in the shoulder? Good boy. Just yours. So how much
Here she
flexion
comes.
should a shoulder joint have?
Should be able to bring the elbow up to touch. Yeah. Quite a lot.
There's no restriction here. You should be easily able to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. What about hind legs?
Stretched all the way back.
So start with a hop. How much extension?
The tail's in the way, Joe.
We can extend the hop about this far.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
about flexion?
All
How
the
far should it come up?
up quite a bit. Keep going. Yeah.
Like that. You can see I have to flex. So in the hind leg we've got all the muscles and ligaments connected that can't flex one joint independent from the other. So we should be able to flex the whole leg up like this. They do it in the sit all the time. How about, should they be able to extend all the way forward? He's probably not going to do it because he goes, this is weird. So if we go hip, come all the way forward, hip, come all the way back,
Yeah.
all the way
Oh,
back.
big stretch,
Without
yeah.
any problems. This is, that doesn't hurt him. You see him like he's going, oh, whatever. But you need to understand what should be normal.
Yeah.
So if you have a dog with hip dysplasia, your range of motion in hips will likely be restricted. So if you take the leg up and it's stuck here, just wait. Okay? Don't muck around with it. Just wait. Don't pull on it. Just let him settle and then they release. Okay? So always be kind to your dogs, but these are the range of motions that should be possible in any healthy dog. It doesn't matter what breed. Okay? Keep that in mind. I'll give. Good boy. Want to have a look? Hi. So I'm literally just taking his head level and back into. Good. Yes.
Almost to your knee. Okay.
Black dog, you can't see. Excuse me, Brenda.
And level. Yes. Good boy. So how are you?
Can you do this side again, Maria?
Yes. Good boy.
Super work.
Moving his feet a little bit, but let's not panic about that just now. I think sometimes if you take it back too much, he tries to back up. Yeah. So that's when I grab his collar to stop him going backwards. Let's try you holding him and bringing him his butt. You will have to be back a bit. That's it. Good boy. Yes. Good boy.
You can have it. Yes. Super. Okay. Could you find middle? We'll do the other side.
You've done plank stretch. Let's try the plank stretch with him. Yes.
Good boy. Nice one. Super.
Okay, should we do the one where you stay in middle? Yeah, it's okay. Can you come to middle? And we'll do this one where I'm going to put my hand on your chest. Good boy. Now, you put the food there. I moved too quick, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you stand up? Oh, there's a nice bow. But it wasn't quite the one we were doing, hey?
Yeah, you need to treat in the other hand.
In that hand?
Yep, underneath him. You need to pop him up, obviously.
Yeah, ready? The food's
So stand him up first, then put your food in your other hand.
Come on, stand. I'm going to hold here.
That's it. He's like, you distracted me. That's it.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yes.
Try and keep his head.
Yeah. So see how he's got his head down? You want to keep
It
his...
needs to come up even more.
Yeah.
Yes, good boy.
So his chin would be... That's
yes,
better.
Good boy. Super. Nice one. Okay.
Can you stand like, let me just try and sit on it.
Good boy.
Good boy. Now, one thing you have to watch with him, do you have a mirror?
I do at home. I don't here.
No. He has a tendency to hyperextend his hocks a little bit.
Okay.
So you've got to watch they don't. So what I mean by that is they go past straight and actually go a little bit that way.
I can't see particularly
No.
here. You can tell me.
So that's hyperextended on this one.
but not on the other one because you're not straight.
He's
through.
got all his weight on his back left.
Yeah.
Can you go back? Yeah. Good boy. Can you fix that? Yeah,
He's
that's
turning
better.
his feet out
There he is
too.
now. Yeah.
So
So
we
he's
need-
just going to move them, no big deal. Good job. Yes. It's okay. Can you go back? Back it up.
Are you doing stretches with him? Yes.
Yes. I can't see the hulks. Can you?
Well,
It's what Maria's saying, they're very straight.
no, I'm just asking because obviously we don't have planks often at the agility, so Lena will show you a manual way to stretch the leg backwards, and you can control the angle of the feet better because they're turning out to avoid. Whereas if you manually do, you can just make sure their leg is in the right rotation and not avoiding. Because the hops are a little weak, do standing with his legs back in slightly lower.
Yeah.
And the pushes, do them down in this area.
Like here.
Make sure his feet, you can even do down here. Oh yeah. And make sure his feet are square. Does he tend to stand turned out a lot?
Oh, sorry, dude.
Exercises?
Yes.
Yeah, so just
One
readjust,
side more than the other. I can't remember which one.
readjust his feet and try and get. So that's Bright stands like that all the time. And Brill does a little bit too. But when I'm doing a standing exercise, I will sometimes readjust feet just to do the pushing exercises so that we have got straight legs and we're having to brace ourselves against it. And Bright was weak in one of her hops and hyperextended, and just doing that little exercise with feet back and lower and just concentrating on the stability of that area helps to kind of it's because it's quite straight through that area, if that makes sense. It doesn't have much angulation.
Yeah.
So it makes them more prone to hyperextend. Okay.
Good job.
Here for me.
So the first thing that I would just suggest you do with all your agility dogs is toe and wrist mobility. So if you take the little footies and have a feel, so this is normal mobility, right? She can bend it really well and she can also extend it really well. So wrist mobility is great in her. She's got a nice super movable wrist. And also just have a feel of their little toes. They have the same joints as us in the toes. So you've got those 3 joints here and you can feel them all and you can just feel if there's anything that they react to and that you can move all that nicely, that there's no response. She doesn't like me touching her foot. She tells me that's a stupid idea. Most dogs don't like it, but it's not a pain response. She's nice and loose in through the toes, okay? So that's really easy. The other thing, the point, so this is one of the points I find a lot of tension in dogs that work. agility or anything is if you have the point of elbow here, you can see the like this bit here, just here, just behind there is a really tight spot. Usually just so you come just off that bone up, and I have to find a dog yet that's not tight in there because of the way they use all those crazy people.
Yes.
They all tighten here, and then you can work your way up here. So if you want to release that, the way I always tell people is find the point where it's really tight. Have about as much pressure as you want to put on your eyeball, and just wait. It's really boring, but it's really nice the way they're released. You can't hurt them that way, and there it goes. And the way dogs release is blinking, licking. You know, the dropping off head. She goes, oh, that was nice. I can do that again. That was super. So this is an already released. So this is already getting softer. That's how quick a release goes in a dog. That's pretty functional. She only just had a treatment, so she's in pretty good nick at the moment after a long time.
Yeah, long enough. Yes.
The other problem area I find in these dogs is your bicep, which is this area in front here. And her bicep feels quite lovely and loose, so there's not a lot of tension here. But in a lot of dogs this is really tight, and they can have problems with their bicep tendon. So you want to have a feel in front here. There's not a lot of muscle, but there's a bit of muscle, and you really want to have a bit of a muck around with that. You can massage it like with the massager that Maria had. You can get in there, same with the back here. You can massage that area, or you can do the same thing again and just hold it and wait for it to release. Often this won't release though if you have an issue in the shoulder. So let's have a look how we release the shoulder. Can you let it down a second?
Good girly.
Good girl. So this is actually one release you cannot do standing up. So their shoulder blade, as you can see there on the bottom right one, that's the shoulder blade there. It sort of sits on an angle like this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And if you put your hand flat on your dog's shoulder like this, with your fingers in front, you can feel the front of your shoulder, and with the finger up the back of your thumb, you can feel the back of the shoulder. So that's her shoulder blade here. And what you can do is what we call scapular glides. Maria knows them very well, unfortunately. So what you do is you just basically take the scapula, and she's a bit tight at the moment because she said, oh, there you go, good here. Oh, she says, no, don't do that. Avoiding much. Would you like me to try it? There you go. So we'll just go a little bit less and just basically push it up, push it forward, push it back. So you do like little circles, like that. And you can really take the shoulder blade sort of between your hands here. And then we can also go the other way. And you'll find usually one way is tighter and more stuck than the other way. And if you have problems in your bicep, you do this and then you check your bicep. Okay. This way, she'll always hold here. If you can just gently ask them to release that leg. At the beginning, they're usually a little bit worried about what you're doing here. So anything you do is really slow. Okay? Makes sense?
Yeah.
You want to have a go at it?